how to let them look beyond just collecting your salary and go home at the end of the day. So to answer your question, it is difficult, but sometimes your parents have a say in the kind of future you might find yourself in. The economic reality, most of us are something in Nigeria, and you go over to the US or Canada and you have a 1-year master's program and your life changes because the system there is going to favor chasing your passion. Someone once told me that an average Nigerian child cannot dream of being a Formula One driver. It is not part of the available dreams available for you to even key into because the system is not going to support. But once you find yourself out there, it's going to be that. So in the long run, I'll just say, depending on the situation you're in, try to survive as much as you can, but still find out what you are good at. And what you're good at is not necessarily something you can wake up to think. This is a simple 3-step approach. Who do you think you are? What do people think you are? And what is it that you do? There are 3 different approaches that might give you 3 different answers. Okay? I could tell myself I'm a veterinary doctor, but people see that I spend a lot of time on stages talking to people. And I can feel that, okay, I'm this or that. So when you find out that intersection in between all of them, it's now easier to find out what I'm good at. If something comes up in the law profession, she can actually key into it and go back. It's not to say she can't continue doing what she's doing, but at the end of the day, I feel as humans, we are not directed to just follow one particular path. If I should put out my bio up here, you can see that I'm into a lot of things. I know I work with Favor. Her bio is way longer. She's into a lot. So how do you get to manage? So you can effectively manage your profession, manage your passion, and even manage something else that gives you money. Your passion might not necessarily be a typical job, a typical business. Some people have NGOs or they just look at giving back to the society without getting paid. But I personally think it's a very, very thin line for the average Nigerian because we have to make money. The economic realities are very, very difficult, so you have to survive. So typically, your decision is going to be involved by what is going to give you the faster and the surest economic value. Okay, at the end of the day, you still have to chase your passion. So I just think that is the best way I can answer that. But just manage it on all ends, and hopefully, when situations are perfect.
Come on, it's a good place to clap. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Madam Nancy, please, I'm coming to you.
Nancy?
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. My apologies, please. I want to ask a question about financial independence. What does financial independence mean to you as a woman in today's world?
Okay, I think Nancy is meant to take that because Nancy is my partner. We run a lot of things together, and she's my financial backbone. Should I skip the question or call her and pass the microphone to her? Financial independence means a lot to me, but I wouldn't want to speak on that because she would do better to that, and she's a better authority to speak about that. Nancy, can you step forward and just answer this question?
Come on, can we celebrate?
A round of applause for Nancy Lisokwe, Smart Nation founder. Good to see you.
Thank
My
you so
partner
much,
in crime.
Okay, I'm actually recovering from shyness, so just manage it like that. Well, we're talking about financial independence, right? The focus is, do you have a voice and do you have a choice when it comes to the matter of money? I was thinking about financial independence the other day, but the only thing that could come to mind is when we're having a discussion with a friend and she's like, what if I have to make certain decisions? Is it possible for me to make certain decisions without having to worry about getting approval or getting somebody to say, okay, yes, you can go ahead? When you get to the point where you are on tables because not just because you're supposed to be there, but because you are a stake on that table, then you become financially independent. When you are in a room, you're pursuing your dreams, you're not scared about following your dreams, about thinking about dreams because you can fund those dreams, then you have truly become financially independent. So when you think about financial independence, it comes from a place of, I am secured, I'm not worried, or I'm not scared that, oh, where will I have the next meal, or I'm not worried about, oh, how will my children fare tomorrow, or how will my mother fare. So once you find yourself in a place where your voice really matters, there's no meeting in your village or your household that happens without them calling you, then you know truly that you've gotten to that point where you are financially independent. Your voice gets to matter and you have a choice. You can walk away from what does not pay you. So at that point in time, you can say, yes, I am secured at this point. I am also confident of the fact that I can take on anything that I really want to do because now I'm in a financially independent state. Thank you so much.
You see why I said she's the authority to speak on that?
We can see,
Thank
Ma.
you.
Okay, thank you, Ma. So what are those things that you think, this is you advising us generally, what are those mindset that you think we could incubate at our young age as a woman that will help us and that will sustain us in the long run? Yeah.
Number one, have a journal. I love journaling, okay? Apart from being a journalist, it's in my DNA. From being a child, my father was a military officer. So you need to have a plan for yourself. You need to have long-term plan. You need to have short-term plan. You need to review them periodically. So when you have a journal, you're able to write them down. Even the Bible says in Habakkuk 2:2 that you should do what? Write down the vision and do what? Run with it. So if you don't journal, you may just be floating. Number one, write and follow through with what you're writing. Number two, do you have a plan for yourself? Do you believe in yourself? There was a time when I was just drowned in having a child. That was all what I wanted to do. So instead of me to pursue my academics and all of those things, I was waiting to just have the children and then go back and then face this, because I had the fear that when I start traveling, another miscarriage might happen. So I put my life on a hold and was waiting to have this dream. So where you are right now, start planning. Do all the schooling you can school now. Plan to have your PhD as early as possible. Dr. Charles, you can advise us some more on that. Then the next thing is be focused. Don't let your happiness be dependent on someone. When I said earlier, I was talking to somebody and I said, you are in charge. Your tempo determines the tempo of the whole of this space. Let that be your own thinking. I am in charge. My happiness is dependent on me, in as much as everything I do is hinged on Christ. Christ expects me to also believe in myself. So my happiness is also largely dependent on me. So I don't have to wait for Charles to smile before I can be happy. So plan to make yourself, just have plans, and then review your plans with time. I think I don't want to talk too much. Let me just stop there.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mama. Please, do you want to say something about that?
Okay. For the young person out there, if you don't know where you're headed, anywhere would look like it, you know. And it's important that you have a blueprint for your life. I'll tell you a short story. Once upon a time, before I got married, there was a gentleman who lived in Italy, and he wanted to get married to me. He was so rich, really, really rich, and wanted me to be a housewife since he had all the money. And so the first thing he did when we started dating was to send me a lot of euros. As a very determined person, and of course I knew what I wanted for myself, right? With all of that money, I started getting lazy, just a bit lazy. And that was a signal for me that he wasn't for me. And then one day I called him up. Me, I've been confident, it's been long, it's not today. I called him up. In fact, he bought me 2 cars at the time. So I had to give one for business, of course, and then I was driving the other. And then I called him up one day. I said, I don't think this is going to work. I'm going to send you all of your money. I'm going to sell the car and send you he couldn't believe it. I can tell you for free that if I had continued, perhaps I would have just been a sit-at-home mom, you know, just going for pedicure and manicure. Who doesn't like that? But I knew that there were lives attached to mine beyond the person who was going to do my pedicure, fix my nails, or book my flight tickets. And so I was more intentional about the fact that the lives connected to mine would not go to waste. And so I needed to ensure that that blueprint that I had for my life, of course, would evolve. But I wasn't going to trade it off for one gentleman who thought that he had found a pretty wife and then, you know, he just get married to me and life moves on. And so it's important that you know what you want for yourself, because it will also influence who you end up with as a spouse, right? my sister would typically say myself and my husband are stubborn people because we have very strong personalities. And that really has spoken to the kind of work and the quality of work that we get to do. Because as a woman, if all you are waiting for is just a man that will marry you and then, you say you are Mrs. Something, you are shortchanging yourself. There's so much more to you. There's so much more that you can do. And so it's important that, like she said, journaling. Because there are things that you also picture in your head. Even at the time when you're identifying a spouse, you have to ask yourself, is he good for me now and for my future? Because some of the challenges we make as women, we only marry men that are good enough for our now, but may not necessarily fit into the future that we picture, right? And so we need to be able to picture our future now and our future in the next 10, 20 years. Is he as driven as I am? While I'm pursuing my PhD would he feel intimidated? Or even if perhaps he's not interested in the academia. If he's interested in business, fine. But can we keep having conversations that nobody feels lower than the other? And when I'm advising or encouraging, because honestly, your friend should be able to have conversations with your spouse. Right?
Yes, ma'am.
You don't want a spouse that when you are going for a dinner, the ambassador invites you, you are struggling if he can represent you. There are times when I do work with the Netherlands, I do some work with the US Embassy, and my husband also does same for different organizations. And there are times when perhaps he's not available, I'm able to go represent him. And there are times when he's not available, and just like that. So these are things you really need to start thinking about. It's not when you've entered, you say, I don't enter. that shouldn't be. So yes, I think I'll just stop there for others to speak.
Wow, thank you so much, ma. Thank you so much. Yes, please, Dr. Charles, you can.
Okay, so this might be the last time I get to speak here, but each time I get to be on stage to talk to people, there is something I want to leave in the minds of everybody. Look at this concept, faith versus work, okay? Faith versus action. A lot of us, especially in this part of the world, depend a lot more on wishful thinking. I want to travel out. I want to do this. I want to make it in life. Okay, what have you done so far concerning that? Nothing. Also, when you look at the action part, it has to be very, very logical. I'm going to give you 2 examples that if you try it, I'm sure it can work for you at any point in time. First is to have an accountability system. If you reach out to anybody here and you say, hello, sir, I want you to mentor me, that is not the approach. People that are in the stage of mentoring people get it a lot. Okay, it's like saying you have a rich uncle and you're trying to call the person every day. The person knows that one day you ask for money. Okay, so how do you do that? How I did mine was I identified 2 to 3 people, different ages, that were living the kind of lives I wanted. And I decided to be accountable to them. They did not ask. At the beginning of each month, hello sir, good morning. How are you doing? I just wanted to give you some updates about my life. I registered this course. I bought this laptop. I did this, I did that. They will wonder why you're telling them, okay, Charles, well done. The next month, hello sir, updates. My laptop, I've used to do this and that and this and that and this and that. I did this for consecutive times.
Wow.
Until one day, someone called me and said, Charles, what are you doing currently? I told him what I was doing, and he said there's a job under the FOA in Abuja.
No.
I should apply and tell them I'm from that person. So you shouldn't just go ahead and say, I want you to mentor me. One thing I tell people that reach out to me to mentor is, okay, I'll give you an assignment. In the beginning of each day, tell me your major goals for that day. At the end of that day, tell me what you've achieved out of those goals. Few people last beyond the 5th day. And then I get to stop. I don't even bother. Because you have to do with consistency. The second part in looking at the action base is, if you attend events like this, let me use Madam Favor, for example. You meet with her. The last thing you want to collect from her is her phone number. I will explain. We have over, let me say, about 50 people here. After this event, almost 10 to 15 to 20 people walk up to her and introduce themselves and everything. You are not significant enough for her to mark an attention about you in her head. Yeah. Except if maybe you dress in a funny way, you did something unusual. So when you collect a number and after the event, hi on WhatsApp, hello my name is this one, you are not going to strike a bell. This is how you do it. And I just advise people a lot on this. Let's assume you have a very, very good LinkedIn profile that has everything that needs to be known about you. You reach to Favor, you speak to her, and ask her, are you on LinkedIn? She says yes. Open your phone. There might be many favors on LinkedIn. Okay? search it, which one are you? She will point and say, this is myself. Open her LinkedIn profile and take a screenshot. That is her business card. When you have time, you get home, go to Favor's profile, like about 2 or 3 or 4 of her posts, drop very, very smart, logical comment, not the kudos or congratulations or well done, I see you. Very smart, logical comments on 2 or 3 of her posts. Then send a connection request. If you're on premium, I can send a message. Hello, madam. I saw you at this event. You spoke about this, something unusual. Even if it takes her 2 or 3 weeks. So let me say I'm Charles. Charles sent her a message on WhatsApp. The same day Charles sent the message, 15 other people sent. Oh, Charles, nice to meet you, simple. She doesn't know me from madam. The second Charles sent her the same thing on LinkedIn. When she has enough time, I liked enough of her posts, I made enough comments, it will stick in her head. And then she sees the DM, she opens my profile and she sees the kind of person I am. Then she responds, hello Charles, let us have a call. This is my email, this is my number, talk to me. The first Charles did not make an impression. The second Charles has gotten her access to something that he would have usually wanted. So please, faith is on one side, action is on the other side. When you focus a lot on making actions, then it helps you get results faster. Thank you.
Come on, can we clap for Dr. Charles once again? Yes, ma'am, please tell me. Any advice for the young mind in the house this morning?
I think I already summarized this basically. Advice for the young ones is, okay, one thing I want you to take home with is no two persons are the same. So what might work for one person may not work for another. Let me not say would not, because sometimes it works for 2 people. So with that being said, you need to continue to work on yourself. Explore different opportunities depending on what your goal is. Like it was said earlier, you need to journal. When you journal, you know your goal. And with that goal, there are different paths you can take to achieve it. So because one way doesn't work, doesn't mean the other way wouldn't work. So you keep exploring. But be cautious with that, because you do not want to spread yourself too thin, where you do not put enough effort in each path that you try to go into. That's where you need to be focused. See everything through to the end. Know who your mentors are, follow with them, but leave an open heart for whatever goal it is you're trying to achieve. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Please, can we celebrate them? Okay, I just want to give privilege to one person to ask question. If you're audacious enough and you want to ask a question live and direct, can you kindly, a wave of hand? Anybody? Okay, please, we have someone. Just come on. Can we celebrate her? Amen.
Good afternoon. My name is Vera. My question is this. I just don't know where to strike a balance between giving, saving, and still taking care of yourself. Like sometimes it's like, okay, maybe I have this dream of, okay, let me fund this orphanage home. Let me do this business. Let me still take care of family, and then let me still take care of myself, and let me still be able to maybe study or further my education. But then it comes to a part where maybe before the month runs out, I'm on zero. Like all my money is gone, and I'm like, am I really? Is there something I'm doing wrong, or maybe I'm not striking a balance correctly? So that's what I wanted to ask. Thank you.
Come on, celebrate. Anybody?
Okay, I think Nancy should answer that question, please. Nancy, I like to push financial things to her because I believe in putting round pegs in round holes. Thank you.
Well, the truth is you need to survive before you can actually take care of other people. So one time I found myself in that same situation. So like I told you, we're all upcoming artists, you know. So the truth is you keep giving, and to the point where you don't even have a future. It's okay that you're giving because you have a heart to give, okay? But please strike a budget around it. a 10% of my budget needs to go into charity. Once you've capped that 10%, the world would always survive without you. And like I always say, that we can't help all of them, but we can help some of them. So in your bid to give, find out that percentage that you're okay with and keep giving, because even from a biblical aspect, God sees your heart the most. But the truth is, the day you faint, they go say, "Na momo be that." You get, they'll be like, "Oh, she didn't even take care of herself," because you've given everything you have. But the truth is also, there's a biblical and the religious aspect to it, but please try and strike a balance around it. I've been mentoring people on budgeting and also savings, but I believe in the ratio system, right? Have the ratio for your personal self, have the ratio for family. There's something called black tax, and it comes from one person working for 50 people. They will keep coming and asking so long as you keep giving, you know, and it will get to the point where you need to think and say everybody needs to have their knapsacks. Everybody needs to stand up. They've got hands, they've got legs. Enable people, but don't create that dependency kind of habit where they think that every month they have to call you. There's someone that almost killed himself. Why? He's working, he's not staying in a house rented by himself. He's always sending all the money home. Even at that, they won't stop asking. To the day we were all running helter-skelter trying to save him, because he said he's tired. He's tired. He's been loaning from one app to the other. We had to now create like a fund to be able to bail him out of it, and started working around the habits. So please, it's okay to give, but having a ratio around it helps you to know what is okay. And once you've reached that mark, even if it's something you can put like put it in an automated form, these people get this automatically end of the month. But please have a ratio for your savings, have a ratio for charity, have a ratio for yourself, because you're also not living for today, you're also living for the future. But you are even not surviving. So you need to move from that survival stage to at least getting to a stage where you're comfortable. But I know also that there's a reward that comes with giving. But you don't give to the point where you're dying, because when you die, even those people will survive and just eat rice and they'll forget about you. Thank you.
Thank you. Come on, can we celebrate her once again? Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you, Ma. Thank you, sir. Thank you for... Okay. Have someone... So we still have another session coming up, so you can pen down your questions. We still have another panel session. Pen down your question and let us know during the second session. Thank you so much. Come on, can we celebrate? Can we celebrate them once again? Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So please, thank you, Ma. Yes. Come on, keep clapping. Keep clapping.
Please, can you put your hands together for them? That was a powerful session. I'm sure that we learned a lot. So before they go back to their seats, we are going to be... Grace, please, I need you. Thank you. We're going to be presenting certificates to them, just to appreciate them for their time. And then after presenting the certificates, we'll just have a little photograph session with them. Thank you. So the first person we are presenting this to is Mr. Charles Nwishenyi. I'm so sorry if I... All right, the second person we have is Desiree Sharif. Thank you. Thank you. The third person is Irene David Arinze. And last but not the least, the delectable Favor Brown. Please, can all the panelists have a photograph session together? Ma'am. All right, please put your hands together again for them. Like I said, that was an explosive session. I would have really loved to do a little recap, but we do not have the time for that. Shortly, we are going to be having representatives from Zenith Bank to give us a financial talk, and they'll be doing that in 10 minutes. Please, can you put your hands together for them as they make their way to the podium? Please put your hands together. Thank you. You can keep clapping till they come.
Hello, good morning, confident women. Can you give me a high five? It's so good to be here this morning. It's really enlightening, all the things I've been hearing. I've been really blessed for the first panel session. So I'm here with my team from Zenith Bank. We're just here to give a brief talk on how to keep and how to maintain your finances, how to make sure you have healthy finances so that just as we heard, you can be financially independent and you can just be the woman you want to be. So we're just going to talk to you briefly on budgeting, investing, and how to build, if you have businesses, how you can also get finances for your business. I'm here with my team. I'm Judith, and I'm here with Chikwe and Francis. Chikwe is our head retail, so he's going to tell us about the products we have also specifically for women. Thank you.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. Good morning, women. Thank you. I'm so much delighted to be here in your midst to discuss financial literacy as it concerns women, and this program is actually very key. I thank the organizers. In this present time, this is what women, and even beyond women, everybody needs to be financially disciplined. So I thank the organizers, and we hope that after our presentation today, that many of us will go home, hit the ground running with what we are going to present today. So without wasting much time, I'm going to start by telling us what financial literacy is all about. With my slide here, sorry, we don't have a projector here, otherwise we would have projected it, but I have a printout here. Financial literacy helps to understand and effectively use various financial skills such as personal financial management, savings, budgeting, investing, etc. Specifically, it helps you to acquire knowledge on how money works in the world. So 3 basic things here that this financial literacy would help you to do is to save, is to help you to budget, is to help you to invest. So we go further by telling us how the money cycle works. You know, first thing first, what you should do and what you should expect. So first on the list here, on the money cycle, we have earn. To earn is to receive salary or to receive maybe a monument or compensation from your intellectual property or whatever you invest that you earn something out of it. So here, earn means to receive money in exchange for work or services provided. So that is number one. So the second here is to save, because after you earn, you must discipline yourself to save. Someone, I think Nancy, told us about ratio. you got to ratio your savings, not giving out everything that you earned. So here we talk about savings means to set aside money for future use instead of spending it immediately. So meaning you got to save. Another branch of this money cycle is spend, because definitely money must exchange hands. So we talk about it's spend here means to use your money to buy goods and services that you need or want. So we still need to define the needs and wants, in this aspect. So the fourth on this list is invest. You must invest. Invest means to put your money into something that you believe will increase in value over time. That is investing. Then the final one here is donate. Donate means to give money or resources to help others in need. Good 18, one of our organizers mentioned that you don't need to give out everything that you earn. You must discipline yourself to save. Even when they are disturbing you from village that you must give, please try and know how to say no. You help those you can help, then, others, definitely God will provide for them. So that is it. So the next we are going to discuss here is budgeting. How we should budget whatever we earn, how we should appropriate it so that we don't end up before 30th, we'll be running helter-skelter, complaining, or even borrowing. So here we talk about budget. A budget is a tool that helps you to keep track of your spending and plan your finances. The first step is to separate your needs and wants. So these needs and wants, it has resonated again that in finance, you must define your needs and your wants. And those needs and wants is something we are going to throw more light on. Here we talk about needs. Needs are necessities that you cannot live without. Needs are necessities that you cannot live without. So meaning that examples of needs here, we talk about rent, we talk about airtime, we talk about transportation, and other things that definitely in a day you must need those things to live with. So again, here we talk about wants. Wants. And those wants are things that you desire and wish for, but you cannot, but you can do without them. Those things you desire, but ordinarily you can do without them. You can let go, you can just move on. Those are the wants we are talking about. Examples of them are a new pair of shoes, the latest mobile phone, game console, or concert tickets. These we can actually live without. So it's good for us to define what our needs and what our wants are in our daily financial life. Here we have a budget template that would help us to actually plan our expense in a month, weekly, and daily. So we considered someone that earns 200,000 naira in a month. The person is expected to save at least, if the person could save up to 80% of it, I think it's a good one. So here we look at salary is 150,000, cash gift 50,000, making it 200,000. That's total income. Now, the person we now look at needs. Needs. So the person will look at transportation. Here, transportation might take 20,000, then feeding 60,000, clothing 15,000, miscellaneous as well is something you got to consider. So here we can say that miscellaneous 25,000. So in a month, the person is spending about 120,000. So 80,000, of course, is still remaining. The person can now save that 80,000. So that is what we are talking about, financial literacy and how to program and package yourself so that you don't run short and out of resources to do other things in future. Okay. On our slide here, we have another topic which we would like to present to you guys, investment accounts. Because in Zenith, everything starts with account opening. In as much as you want to do investment, you have to be given package, there must be a contract. And that contract starts with accounts opening. We have various accounts. We have individual accounts, savings individual, current individual account. We have corporate accounts. We have accounts for women and loans for women, like our Z women loan, which can be given to people that wants to access loan for businesses. So investment account is the things, is one of the things we start with. Then we talk about the investment products. While you are making the money, it's good for you to invest. Here we look at Nigeria Treasury Bill. That's the Treasury Bill. We have the primary market. We have the secondary market. Then we talk about FG bonds. We talk about Euro bonds. We talk about fixed deposit. So these are various investment plans that you could use to save those monies that you are making and to make a better future. So let's throw more light on a Treasury bill. Treasury bills are short-term financial instruments that are issued by the federal government with maturity period ranging from a week, a few days, up to 1 year. Ranging from a few days up to 1 year. Here, they're trying to say that our treasury bill, like if you talk of a primary market, we have 91 days, we have 128 days, which is 6 months, then we have 364 days, which is 1 year. So these are the various level one can actually invest in primary market. Then there is secondary, of course. Secondary has no, it can come in various ways. You can see secondary market of even 50-something days. You can see like close to 1 year. So it varies. And for secondary, the market is open on daily basis. While our primary market comes fortnightly. That's every 2 weeks. So let's look at the advantage and the disadvantage of this Nigeria Treasury investment. We talk about it is considered to have little or no risk. Treasury bill is considered to have little or no risk because it's 100% backed by federal government. So it can only go bad. All right. It can only go bad if this country decide to go under. That is when Treasury bill, you say that you have lost your money. But since Nigeria is one independent, one indivisible nation, nothing can ever happen to it. So that is one. Then they are very liquid. Very liquid. The monies are there for people to benefit from. Then the disadvantage again is interest rates is a bit risk because you can't determine the interest rate most times. Then low return than most investments. Low return means here that, there are other investments that you might use your money to go into. You have a higher reward in investment. But this one is only determined by what the federal government and CBN decide to come up with. So I think this is basically what we want to bring to your knowledge today. They only gave me 10 minutes, otherwise I would have still made some points. But in all, we are talking about financial discipline, financial literacy. We really need to see how best to save those monies that we are earning. We have to map out some for other things, our needs. We need to define it. Our wants, we need to define it. Then for people that wants to set up accounts, after this program, we are still behind to have your detail. Then we set up accounts. If you want a 0-man loan, we are open for loan and other investment plans. Thank you and have a good day.
All right, can you put your hands together for them as they take this? Oh, excuse me.
I comprehend the sly you give. Tell me, where do I begin? Oh, hey, look at my hands up.
All right, Dami, are you in the house? Dami. Maureen, are you here? Please bring the certificates.
Tabi said I feel alone. Lord, Timo, why you want to fish shobora? Your mercy, your goodness in my finger, and I feel it. Oh, I see it. Gratitude to say. I saw it, everything give me a say,
Okay, so before we present the certificates, does anybody have any question for them? We're just going to take 2 questions. Do you have any question regarding what they've spoken about? I'm expecting. All right, thank you.
Thank you so much for the presentation. As an already existing Zenith Bank account holder, in fact, all my family members use Zenith Bank, so well done on the good work. So if we wanted to do T-bills as existing account holders, what's the process?
So we start by giving you a treasury bill form, you fill it, then we process it for you. You now choose the tenure, the face value, and we take it up from there. So, thank you.
All right, take one more question from here. If you have any more questions, you can meet them on their way out and ask them.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Faith. My question goes like this. You spoke about needs and wants. Please, I want you to say something about this, because for some that earn 100,000 and with the situation on ground and the way you buy data, you buy airtime, those are part of your needs because your work demands that you get, you work online and all that. So I want you to, in a situation where you buy data, like in a month, before the end of the month, you spend like 30,000 to buy data and airtime. And it's not like you, for the ones, it's not like you buy shoes, you buy clothes, and every month you spend more. How do you balance it? Because before the end of the month, you pay your transport. You see that you don't save a lot. I don't know if you understand. You don't save the amount you ought to. So please, can you say something about it? Thank you so much.
Okay. Your name is Faithful? Faith, yeah. Okay, Faith, thank you for that question. I think here is you started the narration with maybe someone that earns 100,000 and in a month the person had already spent like 30,000 for only recharge card. Then there are other things ordinarily which needs attention, financial attention. Well, for me, I will say here that, you know, as time goes on, you should be able to tell yourself that your needs and your wants are growing. So meaning that you move from where you are to another level. It's not cast on stone that you remain in a particular job. You might even be self-employed and you be active and industrious. You notice that even that 100K, you are even on your own. You are even making more than 100,000 in a month. So these are the things you need to work around it and see how best you could be able to come up with something that works for you. Thank you. Okay, please hold on.
Okay. Hi, everyone. Okay, so in addition to what my colleague just said, I think the important thing about saving is not how much you save. The important thing is that you're saving something, no matter how small. Because the more you save, you're building a saving culture, and then you can save more. So you can start with something small. You must not put yourself under so much pressure and say, I must save 50,000 when you know you can't really save that. You can start with something small. You start building the savings culture, and with time, you start increasing what you save. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much for that amazing session. I'm sure that we've learned a lot. Please go back and do your research and learn more about this topic, because it's very important for us to take our finances seriously as women in this generation that we are in. If you have any more questions, please, when they go back to their station at the back or while they leave, you can ask them your questions. We don't have time. I apologize for that. But before they go back, we are going to present this certificate to them to appreciate them for honoring us with their presence. So on behalf of the Confident Woman, we want to say thank you, and we present this to you. All right, please put your hands together for them as they go back to their seats. Put your hands together. Are you tired? All right. We are really, really pressed for time. And before we move to the next session, we are going to be listening to the goodwill message by Veronica Iji. She's representing Juwasi. The session coming after that is by Pastor Lillian Ochemba. But before we have Pastor Lillian, we're going to be having Veronica. So put your hands together for Veronica.
How we dey? We don't dey speak English since. And me, I don't tire to speak English. How far? How we dey? E good though. E dey like all of us face don't come up with. I just see all of you now. They press for and they press for. Muna they calm down. I mean, waiting be her name if you know if you na sabi am. Waiting be her name, and she don't call her name here before. Yes, lady in red. Waiting be her. No, I don't want you. You go now. Waiting be her name. Muna tell me. Chai, now I carry 2,000, say I go dash person. No, sorry, now don't give my money back. I put them for pocket. I just get 5 minutes. I don't spend 1 minute already. Okay, before I come here, they tell me say I go come represent my NGO, but I'm having the shake. I no fit talk. I won't do on today. But no wahala. My name is Veronica EG, and I'm representing Julie Burma Women and Children Initiative Executive Director. You know, the feel and see my voice today shake, Abi. Okay. Well, this is her goodwill message. Her name is Chief Mrs. Jennifer Humbafan Ali. And this is her message. Distinguished organizer, mentors, participants, and fellow campaign of women and children. I am AG Veronica, and I am honored to deliver this goodwill message on behalf of the Executive Director of Julie Burma Women and Children Initiative, JOASI, Chief Mrs. Jennifer Hembafanali, who is unavoidably absent today. It is a great honor and pride that we extend our heartfelt congratulations to the Confident Women Conference and Mentorship Program 2025. At JOASI, we are inspired by the vision of this conference. We seek to nurture confident women, foster mentorship, and build resilient communities. We believe that every woman and child deserve the opportunity to live with dignity, purpose, and hope. Our mission is rooted in empowerment, protection, education, and inclusion, ensuring that no one is left behind. This aligns with many of JOASI's goals. As we celebrate the confident women, let us remember that confidence is not just about believing in ourselves, but it is also about lifting others as we rise. Together, JOASI and this initiative can continue to shape a future where women and children strive, contribute, ready to change the world. Thank you very much. I am Veronica, representing the ED of Julie Burma Women and Children Initiative, JOASI. Thank you very much.
Please put your hands together for her. She came with the ginger, she came with the energy, she came with the pidgin. I can't speak pidgin very well. I would have said something in pidgin. All right. We are going to move to our speaking session, and to give us that, we have Pastor Lillian Ochemba. She is a visionary CEO and founder dedicated to empowering lives through faith, leadership, and social impact. Please, with a round of applause, can we make welcome Pastor Lillian Ochemba? Put your hands together. Put your hands together.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. It's afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for having me. Thank you. You know, standing here this morning, I feel very embarrassed. And I know that most of you will be wondering, why is she feeling embarrassed? But if you look at the nature of what we do as speakers, preachers, most of the time we tend to use our stories to teach. So I have a story to tell, which I'm not very proud of. I'm a little embarrassed about, but however, that's what's befalling me this morning. But before I go into this story, I did a survey yesterday, and I asked some of the voices here in the room some questions about being a confident woman and they sent in their responses. And I'm going to be doing the talk with the responses they sent in. As it stands, we don't do life alone. Most times, if you do life alone, you may not be able to reach out to more people, but getting to hear different people talk and then getting their responses, you're able to touch more people. My name is Lillian Ochimba. I'm the convener of Oneness, and in Oneness we have our yearly Believers Recharge Retreat. We have Lady Vessels for ladies in ministry. We have our Oneness outreach. We do outreaches, lots and lots of outreaches, transforming lives, renewing minds. And I'm a holistic life coach. I have a platform called The Evolver. The Evolver is my mentorship platform. I came with some of my mentees. One of them has gone home. I was thinking it would be a good place to clap. I came with some of my mentees. Okay, so I have a mentorship platform, and then I have a platform for wives. It's called The Wise Wives, helping us build our home with wisdom. The Bible says that a wise woman builds her home. So the intention is to help women build their home instead of tearing it down. And you know the funny thing about tearing down your home is that you don't even know you're tearing it down. And then we're coming up with another platform for the single ladies called the Girls Talk. Now, why am I saying all this? I'm not trying to reel out my CV to say, this woman, and please, I'm happily married to the most amazing man in the world. I wouldn't have forgiven myself. To the most amazing man, like seriously, I'm not exaggerating, to the most amazing man in the world. And we have 3 amazing children, 3 amazing God-fearing children. Thank you, thank you. Okay, so back to my story. So why did I start with reeling out all these things? Now let me tell you, first of all, why I came up here and I said I felt embarrassed. So I'm a pastor, and when we started pastoring, I knew little or nothing as it concerns pastoring, as it concerns leadership, any form of leadership, nothing. But we're here to pastor, right? Together with my husband, we pastor one of the branches of Church of God Mission International. So one Sunday, my husband now says he's traveling. We're just starting church. So, you know, we don't have, we're still trying to see how to have the church stand. And then he says he's traveling. I say, okay, I don't know, I don't understand why you're giving me that information, but it doesn't sound pleasant. So who will preach? And then he says, you will preach. Okay. The Bible says I'm a help suitable, so I'm supposed to be helping when he's not around. But what do I preach? How do I start? He now said, okay. He gave me a topic. I said, if you don't rush. I brought up pen and paper. I was writing. He was talking. I was writing. I said, wait. I'll write. I said, hey, continue. I was just writing. And after everything, I said, you can travel. I'm ready. Pumped up. Energized. Let me go and preach. And then I got to church that morning with my sermon note. And then I discovered that it didn't take up to 5 minutes for me to finish the note. So I was stranded. I was standing. I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what to do. If he was around, maybe he would have understood and then stepped in. Then, after standing for a while, I said, actually, what I just said now is what Pastor said I should tell you people. I don't have what else to say. I can imagine it. She said, Kai. Okay, but this is me now, reeling out all the things I do and I'm still doing. The same me that could not stand for more than 5 minutes to preach a sermon. How did I get from that version of me to this version of me? And that's what we're going to be talking about with the time given to me. Building a holistic, confident woman in a broken world. I would have loved to talk. If you leave me, I can talk for 2 hours. They know. So we had workers meeting, and then we're having were having, what will I call it, jokes. And then they were asking questions. So who is the pastor that, once you come to church, he will love on you, he will hug you, the smile on his face. Everybody says, Reverend Chima, that's my husband. They say, who is the pastor that, when you talk about money, you just say, we don't have money. They say, Pastor John. Who is the pastor that that 2 hours, she's still preaching? Everybody shouted, Pastor Lillian. That's part of my CV, just in case we stay here for 2 hours. Okay, so my time is very little, so I'm just going to practically read out, so I'm not tempted to preach or explain. So I talked about the survey I did yesterday. I asked a few women, when you hear the word confidence, what comes to mind? One of them said, it's standing up for myself and what I believe to be true. Another said, confidence is exactly who you think you are. But not every story was rosy. One woman shared, I was chaste until 35. You know what that means? I was a virgin. I never knew a man until 35. My first encounter with a man left me pregnant and abandoned. The trauma crushed my confidence. I still struggle to face people who know me. Even though I can stand before a crowd of strangers, but the battle is real, but I'm overcoming every day. Another said, growing up, I felt pressured to fit in. And I'm sure most of us have that challenge. Just to feel useful and valued. Even sometimes, as simple as being told I have a deep voice, made me withdraw for years. And when asked what hinders confidence most, women pointed to trauma, financial instability, low self-esteem, and even the kind of home environment they were raised in. Yet, despite these struggles, many of them spoke about the kind of women they aspire to be. Influential, impactful, audacious, complete in God, and remembered as those who refused to accept less than they deserved. So in spite of our fears, we still have a picture of the kind of women we want to be. In spite of the challenges, we still have that picture of who we want to be. These voices remind us that confidence is not, it is a life, it is scars, it is healing, it is faith. Confidence is scars. The places you went to speak and they look down on you, or the places you went to speak, they did not look down on you, but even you know that you messed up. And then the next time you are called to speak, you are scared, you are ashamed, you cannot put yourself together. That experience is part of your scars, and that experience, running on it, is what confidence is. That in spite of my past, in spite of my experiences, in spite of what I've seen, in spite of the failure, I will still be that person. I know there's something great inside of me, and I will keep building myself until I find myself on that platform. That's confidence. In a world we live in, where womanhood is both celebrated and contested, social media has redefined beauty, success, and even our sense of worth. Cultural pressure forces women to prove they are strong, yet many are quietly breaking inside. But here is the truth. Confidence without identity is chaos. Confidence without identity is chaos. And confidence without character is dangerous. So you have to know who you are. Before you talk of confidence, you have to know who you are. You know, I call myself the Evolver. That's why I have the Evolvers Coaching Hub. And why do I call myself the Evolver? I was just having a conversation with my husband, and then all of a sudden, from nowhere, he just asked me, who are you? Define yourself with one word. And then I looked through the things I was doing that period. And then I said, I will call myself the Evolver. Why? I said, because I know that I intentionally help people become a better version of themselves. The moment I notice that this person is backward, I come for you. And I take it upon myself that I will push the person until the person gets to a reasonable stage where the person owns the process and starts running with it. So the question now is, who are you? Before you think of the word confidence, who are you? Have you discovered you? Then the next is character. We were talking, the panel session was talking about the being able to differentiate between confidence and pride. Because whether you like it or not, confidence has the ability to make you proud. And you may not even know it. So, while building confidence, build character. So that what comes out of you, like Irene said, would be gracious. So in place of responding rudely because you are confident, you're responding with grace. I said I was just going to stick to the notes, so I don't explain too much. So Genesis 1:27 reminds us, so God created man in his image, male and female he created them. Your essence as a woman is not a cultural accident. It is divine. Your essence is divine. Forget that and you will chase the validation in all the wrong places. If you forget that your essence is divine, you will chase validation in all the wrong places. You will go to social media and make a post just because you want people to like and comment. You will go for conferences just because you want people to notice you. Your essence, your value is not in your achievements. Your value is in who you are primarily. You have been created in the image and likeness of God. So, whether I achieve the world or I achieve nothing, it does not make me worthless because I am created primarily in the image of God. Now, if you attach your essence to your achievement, the day they take the mic from you, you start dying. Because you will lose confidence in yourself. So you are primarily who God has created you to be. And who did he create you to be? He created you in his image and in his likeness. Now, the big question is, how do we become holistic, confident? How? Confidence is not one-dimensional. It is not only about how loud you can speak or how strong you can stand. Confidence must be whole, balanced and rooted. Otherwise, it crumbles under pressure. They are truly holistic women. You must pay attention to, to be a truly holistic woman, you must pay attention to these 6 dimensions. Number 1 is your identity. I asked that question. Who are you? Confidence starts when you know who you are in God. Identity is the foundation of confidence. If you don't know who you are, the world will keep telling you who you are and who you're not. Many of us build our identity on shifting things, on titles, on beauty. Recently there was a video and picture that went viral of the lady that did the Joy soap advert years ago. Now she's old and they are placing her recent picture with the advert she did. The advert she did was that she was the hottest woman in town. As she was just walking past, people forgot themselves. This person was pouring water on this person fell down. Like the beauty was captivating. They could not take their eyes off her. But look at her now. She has achieved. We're not trying to talk her down. All we're trying to say is that beauty fades. So you cannot build your confidence on the fact that you are beautiful. And as a matter of fact, there's no ugly creature because God created everyone in their image. In his image, A woman who knows her identity in God walks differently. She's not threatened by comparison or weighed down by people's opinion. Who have you been allowing to define you? Is it God or culture or social media? Number 2 is character. Confidence without character is just noise. Confidence is not arrogance. It's not pride. Without character, what we call confidence is just volume. You're just making noise if you don't have character. Real confidence has depth. It is built on integrity, humility, and consistency. Think about it. What good is it to have a powerful voice on stage, but a life that speaks otherwise? The Proverbs 31 reminds us that charm is deceptive, but beauty is fleeting. But a woman who fears the Lord is to be praised. Confidence shines brightest when your character backs up your words. So what do people say about you when you are not in the room? The next one is health, emotional and physical health. Healing is not weakness. Healing is not weakness. Healing is holy. A confident woman cannot ignore her health. Brokenness leaks. It will show It will show in your speech. When you are broken, it leaks. You cannot hide it. You cannot cover it. It will show in the way you talk. So you see somebody standing here and talking, and then instead of you looking at how beautifully well the person is talking, all you are seeing is that her shoe even bent. You are broken. Because brokenness cannot hide. It leaks from the way you talk, from the decisions you make, from the relationship you get into. Brokenness leaks. So the reason why as a lady, you will be in a relationship that someone is obviously maltreating you, or obviously womanizing, obviously doing all the wrong things, and then you're telling yourself, how I go to find another man? You are broken. Confidence is you seeing yourself for who you are. You are valuable. You have value. There's so much inside of you. But if you don't discover your value, people will not discover your value. You have to know who you are and present yourself for who you are. That's confidence. So confidence is healing. Many women carry trauma, wounds, or silent pain, and yet try to wear a confident smile. Healing is not luxury. Healing is holy. You have to heal. Because if you don't, you will find it difficult to make progress. At every point in time you want to take a step, your mind tells you everything you're not. And that can keep you from growing. The next is career and skill. Excellence is worship when it is done unto the Lord. Your work, your skill, your creativity, they are not just for survival. They are for the glory of God. So as a confident woman, while you are working, know that what you want to do is primarily to bring God glory. Confidence grows when you know you are competent at something. And that's the truth. If I can sing now, if I can sing, and I enter here, people say, see that girl Sabi sing. It gives a certain level of confidence. When you are walking into the room, you are walking into like the person that can sing. But if you call yourself musician, and you know that you cannot sing, even when you are entering the room, and you are trying to force yourself to be bold, something in you tells you, so you have to build your skill. You have to build your skill. Be the best at what you do. The Bible says that God is excellent. If God is excellent and you are created in his image, it means that you need to show forth excellence. Excellence is not perfection. Nobody can attain perfection here on earth. Excellence is not perfection. Excellence is doing it better every time. How did I do it now? We have organized the Confident Woman event, conference. What were the areas where we maybe missed it? Which areas do we need to perfect the next time? The target is that next year it will be better. Every time you do something and then you give yourself appraisal and then you tell yourself your shortcomings and then you intentionally try to get it better next time. That's where your growth lies, in trying to be excellent all the time. Everything is rehearsed. And then you are not looking at yourself. I am not saying, I don't even have a mic. Look at Oprah Winfrey now. See her event. I don't even have a mic. That same Oprah Winfrey, if she tells you the shortcomings, you will not believe. Most times, it is those planning the event that know where the shortcomings are. So there's no perfection anywhere. Just try to be better every day. Then the next is relationship. No woman builds confidence in isolation. You need to have a circle. And your circle matters. Your circle matters. You don't just jump